Yeah, it is Wednesday. We are halfway through the week. Thank you guys for being here and hanging out with us for another installment of Deplorable Discussions. A special shout out to all of you tuning in early for our little pre-show, really just a roll call where I get to say hi to you all. One of my favorite parts of the day. Jump into chat wherever you're at. I'll say hello to as many of you as I can, and then away we go at the top of the 4 o'clock hour. Very excited about today's show. We should be having, I haven't gotten confirmation from him, but I do expect him to show up. Mr. Daddy Dragon Graham Moore over in England. He is the man. And we're going to start having him on the first Wednesday of every month, which I'm very, very, very excited about. Let's get started. We got Lino Vincent, Lucy Anders, Q-Oys, Cushion-On, Silebor, Powdered Sugar, and Dave 7 for UK, or 74 UK, all hanging out with us in the mosh pit on D-Live. Excuse me. My lunch is fighting me. All right, we're on Rumble. Holy shit, there's a lot of people on Rumble. It's the Daddy Dragon crew checking in. All right, Joe Elaine Q, modding, doing her thing. We so much appreciate all that you do. Joe, change my picture. John Aspinwall, good to see you. Chuck Money, England till die. Good to see you. Let's see who else. Nosy Poke, D Ann. Good to see you. Tony Baloney. And anybody else? Only one NRS. I don't know. And Liberty's Great Awakening. Good to see you. If I screwed up your name, I'm sorry. I get used to reading some of these, and when new ones pop up, my hooked on phonics degree starts showing up. Archer's not. Good to see you as well. Thank you guys for tuning in on Rumble. Hit that thumbs up button, share the link, and also get comfy over on pilled.net as well, or get familiar with it. I got a link in the video description below the Rumble stream so you guys can tune in for the second half of the show as well, which will be exclusively on pilled.net. Speaking of which, who's all in the comfy bunker today? Let's see who we got. Scrolling to the tippy top of the chat. Let's see. Oh my goodness. All right. Lance Lightspear in there first. And I hear it's your birthday, Lance. Is that true? If so, happy birthday, my friend. I hope it's been great so far. Patriot 714, Floyd Due Diligence. What's up, guys? Good to see you. There's Delia in the house. And Delia says she's got a birthday coming up in a few weeks. Keep us posted, Delia. Love to celebrate that with you. D. Richard, good to see you. Kane Chris, what's up, Chris? How we doing today? Let's see. HL Paco in the house. What's up, Paco? There's Joe Elaine, keeping the bunker nice and comfy. You're the best, Joe. Thank you so much. Floyd says a Wagyu Wednesday cookie. I love me some Wagyu. Yes, I do. Thank you, my friend. Space Cookie, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. We got R. Harold checking in. Cali Patriot 14. Barb Robbins out there as well. What's up, Range Pony? How are you today? The Gray Man popping by. What's up, Gray Man? Shane RQ in the house. DX also hanging out with us. Pip's mom from across the pond. We got lots of viewers from across the pond today with Daddy Dragon popping in, hopefully. Good to see you, Pip's mom. And shout out to all of our Patriots abroad. We love you guys. It's so cool to see the reach this little broadcast has managed to compile. Trump Red Pill says Drunk Pinata sent me. Thank you for the cookie. That means I got to go quick because there'll be a lot of names. If Pinata's over at this point, everyone's piling in here. Sean Joe, thank you for the cookie. Good to see you, man. I appreciate you, buddy. There's Belushi. What's up, Belushi? We gotta get you up here on the panel again very soon too. It's been a few months. I need some Belushi time in my life. Dave 75, how you doing? Trump Red Pill 1, thank you for the cookie. Gilligan's in the house. Anyone, good to see you. Ohio Kimmy, thank you for the cookie. Appreciate it. Father Larry checking in. Great to see you. Jenker 2, Eagle Freedom, Chops ITMC, Palajo out there as well. Truth Teller 101. How are you? Good afternoon, Mr. Gerardo. Hope you're having a great Wednesday so far. There's Luann V. Welcome. Great to see you. Yavapai Michael out there as well. Joella Grayson in the house. There's Tesla Dove. Good to see you. Our 4 cents. That's Cap 1. Q. Captain Longboarder. What's going on? Good to see you out there. Let's see who else. Anyone says the swamp is in quite the tither, and I love it. Yeah, I mean we're watching a changing of the guard in real time right now. It's slow, it's frustrating, it's grueling, but it is happening. Sig Dragon Slayer, what's going on? Kristen in Texas. How are you? Laura Y repping the 412. Let's go, Laura. We got Boys Blanc with a cookie. Thank you so much. Chops ITMC. Good to see you out there. I said hi to you twice. I know I did. Nezercat checking in from Wyoming. What's going on? I find it. Good to see you, man. Thanks for all you do as well, my friend. Keeping things rocking on the back end. McKinnon 88. How are you, sir? Good to be with you as well. Richard Lyles dropping a can. Thank you so much. Brian 1871. Good to see you. It'll be a Saturday. Hopefully we'll be doing Collins that day. Hopefully I will be. I hope so. I hope it works out. Jennifer M. What's up, Jen? How are you? How you been? KC Powwow in the house as well. Cycle Chris, Tweety 52. Philly 369 Garden. Cheers. Thank you for the can. Great to see you, man. How are you? Hope all is well. Mad Joker, what's up? Crockett Man, good to see you. Glass Wanda in the house as well. And we got Kaz 1012 checking in. Roy Stones and Bones over on the West Coast. Wisconsin on, good to see you. Joshua Tree 321. What's good, Josh? Woo! Do we just get to the end right at the top of the 4 o'clock hour? Look at that. It's gonna be a good show today, boys. Let's go. A from PA, how are you? Heavy D 007. There's Lyle and Jenny, Packers 412. How we doing? Dread Quarters, what's going on, guys? Good to see you all. Oh man. Oh man, oh my. Very, very cool. Taffy Pat checking in. Daddy Dragon sent me. Awesome. Awesome. Welcome to all of the Daddy Dragon fans out there. Love to have you guys over. Thank you so much for tuning in today. The chat is packed, Joe Elaine, and I'm here for it. Always in Texas. What's up? Good to see you, Martin 1776. Now I'm just procrastinating. Hang 10, Norm, how are you? Patriot Drummer, Ghost Pepper. What's up, guys? It's like it's one of my favorite parts of the show. It's always so sad when it has to end. What's up, CK Whitehorse? How are you? Liana Wilbur, Eagle Freedom. What's good? CDU Calamero in the house as well. All right. Willie Fix It. Good to see you. I really should get the show started. I'm just having too much damn fun. All right. We'll be right back.
We will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Y'all for tuning in, Patriots United, doing what we gotta do to win. Be addicted, the MS7, now we're moving in. And once we take over, we won't ever move again. Where we go on, we go all, I say it with pride. No, we won't run, we won't fall, we're right by your side. The demons have taken hold, but none of us will abide. Stand strong, stand bold, that's how we'll survive. 412 is the production, Monday through Friday, deplorable discussions. We're making it hard for the deep state to function. Every time they switch up the narrative, we debunk it. Adult hero is the power that's controlling the plight. With all you patriots behind them, cause we're all in this fight. So many rhyme for so long, but we're giving them sight. Trapped in the world of darkness, but we're bringing them light. You may even find yourself in a different life. A lot of us have, and honestly, that's perfectly fine. Because exactly where you are at this moment in life is where you're supposed to be at this moment in time. It's all by design, the patriots are holding holding the line. They must have lost theirs, thinking they're controlling our minds. So many trapped in mental prisons, don't know they're confined. They're just slaves in the system to the roles they're assigned. That's sad, the good news is that we're waking them up. They have monopolies on minds, but we're breaking them up. Everything you thought was news, they were making it up. When we ascend, all the tyrants won't be making the cut. Let them all burn in the hellscape they create. We the people already mapped out our escape. We hold each other by the hand as we all elevate and go to a different place. They can never get chased. When I look into the future, I can see that it's bright. When this history is written, they will see that we're right. We formed our own community and the circle is tight, but I expand the circle with every word that I write. The pen is sharper than the sword when you wield it with might. Why do you think they try to kick us off all the sights? These people hate America, punish us out of spite. We are the beacons of hope in the darkness of night. So let's go, strap in, yeah, get ready for the ride. Watch the water, we're witnessing the turning of the tide. Feel the passion and the fire that you got burning inside. Take the narrative they're feeding you and turn it to the side. We're alerted to the lies, replacing with the truth. We know the plan they devised, they're invading the youth. Now we're only sending vibes, just start raising our boots. These demons all weaponized. Now we're raising our troops, now we're raising the roof and sounding the alarm. Remember that it's always darkest before the dawn. Life is a game of chess, they want to use you as a pawn. You're only useful until you're not useful, then you're gone. But not us, we're on the right team where we belong. Everybody is invited, so come follow along. We refuse to say things are right, knowing they're wrong. Admiral Nero, take the mic and take flight, 'cause it's on.
And now, straight from the Steel City, it's your host, 412 Admiral Nero.
All right, let's go, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for joining me for this Hump Day installment of Deplorable Discussions here on 412 Productions. It is February 7th, 2024, and very excited about the panel today. We've got Graham Moore. You guys know him as Daddy Dragon, checking in from across the pond, and my OG Drunk Pinata. Tian Homesteader will be here shortly. He's running a bit late. He cleared it with HR though, so we're not gonna give him too hard of a time. It'll be all right. But let's first say hi to Graham. Graham, happy Wednesday, man. Welcome back. Graham, are you there? Can you hear me? Graham can't hear me. You can hear me, Pinata, right?
Yeah. I
Graham.
think he's...
Can you hear me? Can you hear? Yeah, I'm talking to you. You're well, we gotta
check his sources.
Yeah, we gotta make sure he's set up here. How about now? Nope, still nothing. The fun of live broadcasting. And for once it's not me on mute, so that's a refreshing change. Normally it's me that is talking to himself in his studio. But that's all right. We're gonna get this figured out and carry on here in a second. Oh, I heard something. There he is.
There you go.
Yeah, no.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep. We can hear you. Can you hear me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why would it be doing that?
Can you hear me? We can hear you.
I'll come back.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
That's strange. It's just oh, hang on a minute. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right, here we go.
I've had really bad problems, right? Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. I've had screens literally gone off, not worked anymore. So I've bought a new screen today. Now the thing won't work.
Jesus.
Right? And then you're trying to get everything to work at the same time, and I haven't got a clue what it is. But there you go.
Hey, we're working now, Graham. It's great to have you back. How you been, man?
I am very well, thank you. Quite a bit going on.
Yeah.
Obviously all over the place. And the fact that Tucker is in Europe for another 2-3 weeks, is it?
I don't know how long he's staying, but they're trying to put a travel ban on him now. Did you hear that for interview?
The thing is, they've done the same with Dave. I mean, a lot of people don't know, and I don't particularly like David Icke, right? The only reason
Loved it.
and the reason I don't particularly like him is because he always talks about the problems and he never talks about the solutions, right? And that's something that just annoys me. It's like if you're managing a business and someone just keeps coming up and saying no, 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 and they never come out with a solution. But cut a long story short, they did the same to him. He's banned, I think, in, I don't know, 27 countries. He's banned from Australia. He's banned from all these countries. And you think, why? All it's doing really is giving credibility to all of these other people who have been banned.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
have you seen the latest with that, though? That they evidently, I don't know whether this is true. I can't remember where I see it. I think it was on Twitter. But they've put him on, Zelensky's put him on the kill list.
Who, Tucker or David Icke?
Tucker.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, that's not going to be, he's going to have some serious problems with, I mean, when I say serious problems, I mean, Zelensky's going to have some serious, if that is true, what will most of the people in America, not let alone all the other countries that like Tucker, what are they going to think?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I mean, just simply interviewing another world leader could provide that much of a backlash for a journalist. But I think it speaks to the state of the establishment media, the establishment and globalists need to control the narrative. It shows weakness, extreme weakness on their part when something as simple as an interview with Tucker Carlson with Vladimir Putin can ruffle their feathers to the point where they're talking about travel bans, talking about kill lists, and all these different repercussions. To me, that's a sign of serious weakness to and insecurity on their control of things. So I'm glad to see Tucker's doing it. I'm glad to see the reaction he's getting from it, and I can't wait to see the interview. I think it's supposed to drop tomorrow at 6 p.m. It's going to be, I think, some bombshell stuff that could really kind of reset the conversation around Ukraine and that entire war, getting the other side of the story, and actually getting firsthand perspective from the Russian side, because all we've gotten here in this country anyway is one-sided reporting, pro-Ukraine, pro-Zelensky, anti-Russia. So to break that up and get the other side presented to a massive number of people in this country, I think should have a major effect on the overall conversation. So I'm very excited about it, Graham.
No, I am too. And I've got to be honest with you, he's got to drop some. It's not. He will be dropping bombshells, but for me, it's the fact that if you look at the syndicated videos that will go out and the clips that will go out just from them two speaking, you're probably talking 1 billion views. That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of people that's going to get woke up pretty lively to what's going on.
That's what's crazy too. Him without a major news network, without any major infrastructure behind him, he's going to get more reach, buzz, and influence off of something.
Yes. Well, for someone without a network, that kind of goes into the clip I wanted to play. For someone without a network, the other networks are doing an awful lot of talking about him and putting his video on.
Well, let's see the clip you want to play then. Let's get that up.
This is absolutely brilliant here from CNN trying to pretend. You'll see it in a second. They're pretending.
It's
they're
great
pretending to be journalists. Chris.
We're here to interview the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin.
Tucker Carlson is lying from the streets of Russia, no less.
Not a single Western journalist has bothered to interview the president of the other country involved in this conflict, Vladimir Putin.
That's a lie. Serious news outlets, including CNN, have requested Putin to interview over and over again.
Yeah, serious news outlets, like CNN.
Most Americans have no idea why Putin invaded Ukraine or what his goals are now. They've never heard his voice.
Another lie. Serious news outlets, including CNN, have covered and, of course, reported on Putin's words since this war began, including one of his baseless justifications for the invasion of Ukraine, which he initially claimed was to stop the Nazis.
So you have zero clue about the Azov Battalion, none of that. They're just going to breeze right past that.
That's hilarious.
Because it's our job. We're in journalism.
Tucker Carlson is not a journalist, not even close. And his former employer in a court case actually agreed, quote, the general tenor of the show should then inform a viewer that Carlson is not stating actual facts about the topics he discusses and is instead engaging in exaggeration and non-literal commentary.
So one line out of context, you guys get to feel it's all of her shows that this lady does on CNN. She always does this. She plays like 2 seconds of something and then makes a comment. 2 seconds of something out of context of the broader picture and then same thing with here, even in textual form. Where here, this is someone's opinion on what Tucker is doing, and you can have two things be true at the same time. But of course, for people on the left, it's impossible. It has to be binary thinking, black and white. Two things can't be true at the same time. You can't walk and chew gum. It is they will just fall down.
2 years into a war that's reshaping the entire world, most Americans are not informed. They have no real idea what's happening in this region, here in Russia or 600 miles away in Ukraine.
For 2 years, real journalists have risked their lives to report from the ground each and every day in Russia and in Ukraine.
Yeah, it's quite funny to watch them.
Pretend.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I have never seen anything as brazen as that. I mean, they have literally just gone on air and said he's not a journalist or not a proper journalist.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
In their eyes, journalism means something completely different than what we define the word as, Daddy Dragon. To them, journalism is gatekeeping, gaslighting, and controlling the flow of information. To us, journalism is a curiosity to uncover truth and facts and understand the reality that surrounds us. But again, when you talk about the establishment, corporate, prostitute media, it's a completely different definition of what journalists do. So by her definition, I guess Tucker Carlson isn't a journalist. Because he doesn't play the game the way that all these other ones do. Anything else you got for us, Pinata? That was good though.
Oh, that was excellent.
Yeah, I mean, some of those, like I'll find them. I don't even like what I like to do is I don't even watch a lot of the stuff before I put it on the show. I know like certain presenters, I know her style, so I know it's going to be gold when I put it on my show. I just kind of produce the show live because I want my reactions to be genuine. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh, this is perfect. I mean, this is like stuff that can go like in my show intro, things like that. So, but yeah, that's all I had for right now.
Sounds good. All right, well, let's take care of our sponsor, and then I want to hear more about what you got going on, Daddy Dragon, and then from there, I've got lots of updates and news going on here stateside that we got to get into, and really looking forward to getting the panel's thoughts and insights on all the news breaking. But first, quick message from our friend at Earth Garden Botanicals. We love Earth Garden Botanicals, amazing company up in Montana run by Jolene. She's an herbalist, a health coach, just an amazing woman that makes amazing products. The white pine needle extract is the newest creation coming from Earth Garden. It's a wonderful detoxing concoction. It's basically a concentrated version of the pine needle tea, the sunshine and pine needle tea, which is super delicious. And again, a great way to detox the body. So you want to check that out. Check out the CBD oil tinctures and all the CBD and hemp products. They're organically, all the ingredients are organically and locally grown. They're a great price for the value and the quality of the product. You will not be disappointed one bit. Orange ginger, bergamot, huckleberry, peppermint, cinnamon bliss, cherry, even the unflavored is fantastic. go give it a try. There's CBD oil for pets, Delta 8 R&R nighttime gummies to help you get a good night's sleep, and an arnica salve, a topical cream with CBD infused or without to help with your sore joints and muscles. Highly, highly recommend all of these products. Elderberry tonic provides a wonderful boost to your immune system. The fire cider is great for clearing your sinuses if you're feeling stuffed up and having trouble breathing. I mentioned all the teas. There's 4 different teas. If you're a tea drinker, you're going to want to try each and every one of them. Elderberry tea, golden potion tea, serenity to calm your nerves, keep you relaxed, and of course the sunshine and pine needle tea that we talked about earlier. So go check that out. And don't forget about the critter juice as well. Those of you down south still have the mosquitoes buzzing around, biting you. This stuff is absolutely amazing. It's all natural, organic, does not leave you smelling gross or feeling oily, and it works. God, does it work? It's been a total game changer for me. I'm one of those people that just get absolutely destroyed by mosquitoes during the summer. If I go outside for even a little bit, I typically get bit. They just find me. This stuff makes a major, major difference. I don't get bit hardly at all when I wear this, usually not at all. I keep one in my bag, one in my truck, one by the front door. I always, if I don't have it on me and I'm outside, I always kick myself because I know what a huge difference it makes. All these products are available for 10% off using promo code 412. So stop by the store, earthgardenbotanicals.com. Say hi to Jolene for us. She absolutely loves you guys. She loves this community. She loves this movement. And these products are absolutely fantastic. Again, promo code 412 for 10% off. Go load up your cart and hook it up. All right, there we go. That's our only sponsor today, guys. So we will get on into it. Daddy Dragon, you said you got a lot of stuff going on, man. Fill us in on what's the latest with you and everything you're working on.
Well, the main things that we're still working on, and I'm waiting for it to tick into position, is in the High Court with a torture case. I've mentioned it on the show before. So basically, what's happened? There's a number of things that's happening at the moment. So on my show tonight, it went completely pear-shaped with everything going off and sound problems and all sorts of stuff. So the main problem is that the Crown or the judiciary and the Crown Prosecution Service are trying to kick it out of the court, kick it out of court, kick it out of court. Right. So what's happened now, obviously, is we've spoken, and funny enough, it's a Texas lawyer. So you've got a load of problems going on in Texas, and that same Texas lawyer that's dealing with some of them issues for the Texas people, he's actually assisting us. So sent a letter to, or I hope he sent a letter by now, to the British government to say we are retained by these people, reference a case of torture. And again, it comes under universal jurisdiction. But there are other things, and this has got nothing to do with me, but it is something that may interest the audience. We had a major, and still have got a major issue over here with a massive fraud, right? And the fraud, basically, a company called Horizon, which is part of Fujitsu, some years ago took over the running of what we call the general post offices or the post offices, right? And because they took over the running of the computer systems, lots of the postmasters were suddenly coming up with all these errors in their accounts. Well, it turns out, I don't know if anyone said anything of, oh, this has been spoken about in America, but it's massive, right? Hundreds, literally hundreds of postmasters were prosecuted for fraud, false accounting, embezzlement, and all these other strange things. Some of these people committed suicide. Completely honest people, hardworking people, been doing the job years, no issues whatsoever, right? And then the government brought in as this contract these groups of people, and it turns out that they knew there was problems with their software. That their software was creating errors, that they could log in to postmasters' accounts and change records without the postmaster knowing about it. They had access to all the postmasters' login details, so they would never have known they was in there, and they could disguise whether they'd been in. So the basis of it is it all went a court. The new lady chief justice has said it's got nothing to do with the court system. A guy called Andrew Bridgen, a member of parliament, who's brought it up, and he's been on it for years. And it's come to a head. Now, one of the things that the lady justice has said is it's nothing to do. All these people were taken to court. Many of them went to the Crown Court. Well, they all went to the Crown Court. Some of them sentenced to terms imprisonment. Some even pleaded guilty, believe it or not, just because of the stress. And the problem that we've got now is that this lady Chief Justice has said it's got nothing to do with the judiciary, right? So I'm thinking, how can it not have anything to do with the courts? You're the ones who've sent them to prison. Cut a long story short, she has turned round and blamed the juries. She said the juries are the ones who've convicted them, right? So, I mean, I was gobsmacked, not just gobsmacked, but angry as well, because they want to, I don't know if you all know, but in 1930, they removed our grand juries. They abolished our grand juries. So the jury system and the grand jury system and all that system you've got in America come from England. It's not British, it's English, right? And in 1930, they abolished the grand jury system. And one of the reasons because we could hold people to account, right? So they also, the judiciary and the previous Chief Justice wants to abolish juries, right? So we're looking at this, and I'm seeing this lady Chief Justice.
One second. So it would just be the judge, a single judge that would determine guilt or innocence?
Right. So there's two types of law, right? There's the common law system, which you operate in the United States of America, and to the largest extent of any state, Texas, right? Because Texas adopted the English common law system in 1846 and 1840, right? Now, what's happened is they want to abolish the jury system and replace it with what most people would term as a tribunal system. In other words, a judge, a single judge, or three judges will listen to it. That's called administrative law. It's European Union's way of doing law. That's what they do. It's never been the English way. It's never been that way, right? So they're talking more and more now of abolishing them. They hold some trials in secret, and they say national security and all that. That's a different thing. But the point is, they've all said there's nothing we can do about it. Parliament has now got to enact a law to deal with this situation. It doesn't need to. What I've been telling people, and what would have been the subject of tonight's show if it had gone ahead, is that the crown or the king, the monarchy, has got what's known as a prerogative of mercy, in which he can issue a pardon to all them people. You've got the same system. So your president can pardon anyone. The slate is clean. I just say that's it. It's called an unconditional pardon. And that's the king's prerogative. And he can do that. And what some people are saying is, no, since 1689, you can't do it. It's rubbish. And what I've been doing is trying to tell people that the solution to that is to say to the king, listen, these people, your Crown Prosecution Service, right? They're your judges. The Parliament is the Crown in Parliament. It's your Parliament, technically, right? And all you need to do to solve this problem, because it was your government and your Parliament that put, and by the way, you're talking about a post office, it was your government that put them contracts from Horizon and Fujitsu in place, right?
Right.
It's all your problem, and he is the head of state. By the way, just to make sure, I think there's something like 700 people, postmasters, were prosecuted. So it's not a small amount of people, and 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 they knew that they'd made these mistakes, and they didn't declare it. That's all come out now that they knew. Tony Blair knew all about it and never said a word.
Let me ask you, Graham, is there a reason? Was there something nefarious they were trying to accomplish by allowing this shady software to be put into place? Like, was there some other thing that they were trying to pull over on the public with this? Was it just shoddy management? Like it like if they knew about it and they allowed it to go forward anyway, and allowed these people to be convicted, I'm guessing there's some kind of bigger goal or something at play here. I mean, why would they allow a knowingly shoddy software system into the post system, um, like intentionally? Is there something bigger going on?
So because of the lady Chief Justice and her comments, especially about the jury, because that's the bit that infuriated me. The jury can only make decisions on the information it's given by the prosecutor, and again the judge as well. You know, he's going to sentence or she's going to sentence on what the, and they're relying on the fact that people are being honest in their presentation of the facts, and if they're not, then you've got a problem. So I think one is they are creating a problem from the jury system by blaming jurors. So let me just make sure everyone's clear on this, right? The government's made the mistakes. The government contractors have made the mistakes. They knew what they was doing. They knew that it was causing problems, and they've got serious integrity problems amongst their staffs, and even the prosecutors, and even the police who prosecuted it knew they were saying seriously wrong, but no one said a word, right? And they've got the audacity to blame the jurors. And so for me, yeah, there is something in the background, and I think they're going to suggest to people that, you know, because of these types of cases, we now need to take juries out of the equation. But the second thing is, by them expressing that they need to enact a law to deal with these type of situations, that's absolutely the only thing I can see is that they're still trying to push us towards the administrative type of justice without actually telling people we're now taking you out of the common law system or common law jurisdiction, and making England and the United Kingdom a full administrative system of governance, just like the EU. That's what I can see.
That's
Nefarious.
so they so I might be oversimplifying, but if I understand correctly, and it's just what your theory is that they allowed this shitty software, this malfunctioning software, to intentionally be installed because it would frame postal workers, get them wrongfully convicted, right? And then they would use that as fuel to remove a key part of due process in the criminal justice system, where they would take away your right to be tried by a jury of your peers as opposed to a panel of state-owned judges.
Right.
Am I getting that right? Is it just straight up Hegelian dialectic, problem, reaction, solution? Plant the problem, wait for it to rear its head, wait for the reaction, and then have your solution ready. Did I get that pretty much right?
Yeah, that's what and the reason why it's triggered me. So all of that with what you've said there is true. The bit that nails it for me, bearing in mind what they've done to the justice system and the common law juries, removing grand juries, for example, and all their reasoning that they give at the time, which was absolute BS. And what they do is they gradually nick a bit, nick a bit, nick a bit, nick a bit, and nick a bit until all of a sudden you've got no rights left. Just to give you an example, the right to keep and bear arms, the Second Amendment come from England, right?
Mhm.
It's still in our English Bill of Rights that's still supposed to be in full force. What have they done? I'll tell you what when they started was in 1921, and they started on ammunition, right? They didn't take your gun away or your right to keep and bear arms for self-defense. What they said was this type of ammunition is now unlawful, and you're not allowed to reload it. You're not allowed to have that. So they started with this type of ammunition. Within a year, it then made those firearms that use that ammunition obsolete. Because what's the point of having that type of firearm if it's got no ammunition?
Right.
And then it progressed and progressed, and then till we finally got a number of mass shootings. Hungerford, one of them, that was with a shotgun and a rifle. There was another one in the north, and then there was Dunblane, where they walked into the guy walked into a school and shot a load of kids. It's the same process that they're using over here. And I've always said to people, the blueprint to destroy America is what they're using in England. So all of that is going on over here at the moment. And again, to solve the problem, all you have to do is the Constitution is the solution. You turn around and say you have a prerogative that you can use and you should use it to pardon all these people. And then that solves the legality problem of it, because an unconditional pardon has been issued to all them people, including the ones who pleaded guilty, by the way. People do strange things under stress, and
Yeah.
that's exactly what they did. But it's a big event over here. It's not a minor one. Everyone's talking about it. There was, I think, a 4-part series on TV where they went through it and showed people, and people were disgusted. But it also started to make people think a bit more. What the government knew about this, what the prosecution knew about this, what the police knew about this, what these so-called, these high-level contractors, what Tony Blair knew about this. It started to build momentum, and it's just one of them things I think is helping to wake people up.
How are there people over there that are falling for it, that are looking at it and being like, oh man, yeah, we do need to get rid of juries and get rid of grand juries? Like, is the messaging working on any section of the population that you can tell, or is it mostly being hit with resistance from the people in the UK?
Well, see again, this is where you have to be so, and it's one of the reasons why I completely agree with Texit. These people who have got control, they've got control of the media, they've got control of the legal profession, they've got control of everything, right? So, just to give you another example, you've got what's known as the Fifth Amendment, right? We just call it the right to silence.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go and sit in a courtroom, and the Crown Prosecution Service, by the way, the Crown Prosecution Service only come in the 1980s, right? Prior to that, it wasn't operated by the Crown as it is now, right? So you can see they're already nicking, but let's just make sure people this is the way it works. I think it was the 90s, it may have been the 80s. They then said, we're changing the caution. So I don't know if it's the same in America, but a police officer, if he arrested you for a crime in this country, meaning England, the police officers had to give you a caution. And the caution was roughly, that you have the right to remain silent I'm arresting you, and they tell you what they're arresting you for, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Anything you do say will be taken down and may be used in evidence against you,
And
right?
we call that the Miranda rights. They have to read you your Miranda rights here in the United States. So that's the
Right.
same thing.
Well, so what they did then was then they changed the oath, not the oath, the rights, and what they said was, um, instead of saying you have the right to remain silent, they said you have the right to remain silent, but anything you do not say and you then later rely on in court, the jury may take an inference against it, right? So that what they're doing is they're telling the jury didn't say anything at the time, but now he said this, right? So again, they're chipping away at the actual right to remain silent, and for it being the sole responsibility of the state, without any assistance from a defendant, to prosecute. Right? You shouldn't be giving the state any assistance to prosecute you, right? And
Right.
but they've already nicked that. Again, there were a few protests, nothing major, but it was a major change constitutionally. And again, this is where they nick a bit, nick a bit, nick a bit, nick a bit. So there's lots. I mean, there's lots of historical elements to that. And again, when you go through the history and the laws, and again, so just in the 1930s, they removed the grand jury system. So we as a group of people can no longer return an indictment. The only thing, there is one thing that we can return. I can't remember what it's called. We can return. So there's two things that the jury can return on a grand jury, but they've removed the indictment. So the only other thing you can do is make a recommendation to the Attorney General, but the Attorney General doesn't have to accept that recommendation and would just ignore it. But you still wouldn't get that system operating in that way. But what they're going to do is they will bring that out in America. So the more you see grand juries in America being a way of prosecuting the hierarchy, anyone, it don't matter who you are, you could have a grand jury look at you, investigate you, and indict you. But they'll be looking at taking that somewhere.
Wow. Shipping away indeed. That's crazy. I had no that's absolutely crazy. Anything else going on over there, Daddy Dragon, that you wanna tell us about, or that you're working on right now before I get into some other stuff?
There's loads of there's lots of little things going on at the moment, but the major thing for us is keeping an eye on what's going on in Ukraine with Zelensky and just what's going on there. But all eyes at the moment are literally on Tucker Carlson and what Putin's got to say. But again, you've got lots of protests here at the moment. You've also so we're being told that farmers are looking at coming out on the streets with their tractors. I don't think they will, and there's a different reason why I think they won't be doing it. Certainly not in numbers. But there's lots of problems. You've still got protests in different places that people are looking at. You've also got a number of stabbings. I mean, the stabbings in London, it's just a nightmare. And especially young people dying and being stabbed to death. There's loads of stabbings. There's loads of violence, and it's just going more and more pear-shaped.
Jeez. So when do they start the knife control legislation? I'm guessing that comes next. They take away the guns, and now it'll be the knives next.
You're not allowed to carry a knife.
There you go.
That's been done. That was done a year and a half ago.
Was it really? I missed that one. I was saying that as a joke.
Oh, you're
No,
not.
they even outlawed butcher level knives buying them.
Wow.
If you've got a knife on you, it's called a bladed article, and it can be anything. If it's over 3 inches long, that they regard that as an offensive weapon. You can't even have a baseball bat unless you have a glove and a ball with it, and you can show that you are going to the park. Otherwise, you will be arrested for an offensive weapon. You're not allowed to have any swords or big knives, anything in your actual home.
That's absolutely nuts. Unreal. Well, there you go. That's a look into our future here if we don't get our country back on track, guys. So it's very interesting and kind of frightening, honestly, to see like a glimpse into where this all goes if you allow the our federal government to continue to overstep their bounds. Daddy Dragon, it's very interesting and like I said, very disturbing to hear all the shit they're trying to do over on your side of the pond. Real fast, TN, how you doing, man? Good to get you in here.
Yeah, I'm all right. Just out and about and got delayed.
Yeah, no worries, man. Glad you're here. I cleared it with HR ahead of time, so don't worry. They'll
Yeah.
you won't be getting any notices, so it'll be good. All right. Before I go into our next thing here, we have a lot of new viewers on Rumble right now that are hanging out over there on Rumble. The second half of this show in about 10 minutes, I'm going to be turning off Rumble, YouTube, DLive, CloudHub, Odyssey, and Twitter. We're shutting all those platforms down and going to be broadcasting exclusively over on pilled.net in the 5 o'clock hour. I've put a link to the stream underneath the Rumble stream in the description. So if you expand that, you'll see the pilled.net link. I suggest you start working on getting over there now, just so you get familiar and know where to go. Because like I said, in 10 minutes, we will be turning off all these other platforms and going exclusively to pilled.net. That's our main base, our home, and really the only true free speech live streaming platform going online right now. So I hope you guys will come over and continue watching with us over there in the second half. Otherwise, I wanna jump into a bit more of the news here today, and something kind of funny here to bring us into the to wrap up the first half of the show. Nikki Haley loses to nobody in Nevada. This might be my favorite story of 2024 so far. Las Vegas, in one of the strangest elections in recent time, candidate Nikki Haley on February 6th technically lost to none of these candidates in Nevada's Republican primary, an unsanctioned contest that did not feature GOP frontrunner Donald Trump. Not only did she lose to none of these candidates, she lost by 33 points to none of these candidates. So here's the results, right? You have John Castro, I don't even know who that is, at 0.3%. Tim Scott got 1.4%. Mike Pence got 4%. There's 2,752 people in Nevada that are still rooting for Mike Pence. I find that pretty interesting. Nikki Haley got 30.5% of the vote, being the only still actively campaigning nominee, or not nominee. I can't find my words. Anyway, only one still running, and then none of these candidates, in other words, people going there and saying all of them suck, got 63% of the vote. That has to be maybe the most embarrassing political loss in the history of politics. I can't think of something more humiliating than not being able to beat nobody in a primary in your own party, supposedly. So this is absolutely hysterical. What are your thoughts on this, TN? I mean, did you get as good a laugh at this as I did?
Yeah, and there were this was going to happen because there was a lot of people saying, vote in the primary but caucus and then select, as Kash Patel put it out. I put out an image of the ballot as well for Clark County, and with the arrows pointing to none of these candidates. So yeah, it's pretty funny because that says, assuming nobody does anything like caucus for her, even though she's not on the ballot, let's say, there are 26 delegates and 4 delegates in Virgin Islands that are up tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
I should say the 8th. Yeah, tomorrow. And so when going to South Carolina, she'll be at a 45-point deficit, 45 delegate deficit, and there's only 50 delegates in South Carolina. So she has to win 95.9% of the delegates out of South Carolina. And 29 of those delegates are awarded automatically to the one with the most votes. And I saw an article earlier today that was talking about essentially, although they didn't use the word firewall, that South Carolina was her firewall, that the last ditch effort to stop Trump from being in the White House. She doesn't stand a chance, even with South Carolina.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's
I can't wait for the results tomorrow, because the way that it is now, and I know it's early, I ran the numbers, and assuming that the current percentage of delegate gain by each side, Trump and Haley, even though there's 12 delegates that are out there in limbo land because of Ramaswamy and DeSantis, which those will come up during the convention. But even if you run the numbers as it is now with their current percentage of delegate obtained, she never even breaks 800 ever, and you need 1215 even after you go through all the conventions. Now granted, it's early because there's only been two primaries, so but even after you go through all the primaries, she's only like 700 and I don't have the number in front of me, but 780 delegates is the most she'll ever get.
So she stands no chance.
No chance.
Absolutely no chance.
The only chance she has is sticking it out, and Trump, for some reason, is indicted, preventing him from being nominated. That's the only chance she's got.
Yeah. That's
But I don't see how what could be that he's nominated, rather that he's indicted in time for the convention, which is July.
You mean convicted, not indicted, because he's already.
Yeah, I'm sorry, convicted. Yeah, that he's convicted before the convention.
Yeah, very, very small chance of that happening with the current timelines we're on. So that is there you go. That is pretty much, I think, the end of Nikki Haley and any chance that she had. Not that she really ever had a chance, but her trying to use these open primaries to try to stick around and create some kind of false sense of momentum and hope for her campaign. I think that came to an end when she lost to nobody in Nevada primary.
They got snookered in Nevada too, because they didn't play smart. What happened is that the Nevada legislature, the Democrats passed the bill making it the primary away from Nevada's had a caucus for a very long time, but they made it a primary, both the Democrat and the Republican primary on the same day, the 6th. So Haley went for that. Trump kept his powder dry. The Republican Party of Nevada then changed to say, okay, fine, you're going to have the primary? Go for it. We're going to have a caucus. And they made the caucus the 8th, and that's what Trump signed up for.
Yep. Yeah, that was good maneuvering. Good maneuvering for sure.
Yeah.
To make sure that they couldn't, mess with the Republican nominee and who the people actually want. So,
right.
Yeah, no, good stuff. Daddy Dragon, a couple people are asking where they can find your daily show or where you normally stream to. Do you want to go ahead and plug your channel, let people know where they can find you before I cut the show in half and we go exclusively to pill.net?
I used to go on redpill.net, but for some reason the transmission to that didn't I don't know why, it didn't work for me too well. But so every night live I'm now on Twitter. So you can find me live on Twitter under my name, Graham, and then it's got H Moore. And also on the Full English Show. And the Full English Show is on Rumble every night, 8 o'clock. So that's 8 o'clock GMT, 3 p.m. Eastern. Every night, Monday through to Friday, that is.
Right on. And I'm putting the link to your Twitter account in the Rumble and Pilled.net chat, so everybody out there can easily get to it and follow you and keep up with everything you got going on. So guys, make sure you grab that link. Tracy Truthism also putting the Rumble link out there. Thank you so much for that, Tracy. I appreciate you helping out. And yeah, guys, go follow Daddy Dragon over on Twitter as well. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a quick little break here to move this show over to pilled.net. Again, the link for the show is in the Rumble chat. I'm putting it in the Rumble chat. It's in the Rumble description beneath the stream. I'll put it in the DLive chat as well for you guys over there, so you could easily jump over and continue following the broadcast. I'm going to play a quick video. We'll come back on the other side, say goodbye to the other platforms. We'll read any gold pills you guys have thrown into the pile since we started the show and catch up on those. And then we'll get into some stuff going on with the head of the RNC. There's some interesting things happening. We'll talk about the failed Mayorkas impeachment vote yesterday, what that means, and how we move forward from that, and a bunch of other stuff that I've got piled up. We'll see what we get to. We got an hour. We'll see where the discussion goes. But yeah, we'll be right back on the home of free speech, pilled.net.
Pilled.net is proud to host 412 Productions, exclusively on the true home of free speech. To continue watching the show, we are here to help you over to Pilled. If you're new to the platform, just click on the welcome link provided. It will then automatically walk you through signing up for your free account. If you already have a Pilled.net account, follow the link provided directing you straight to 412 Productions channel. We are excited to have you join the Pilled family. And if you have any questions at all, please email support@pilled.net. Enjoy the rest of 412 Productions on Pilled.net. Free speech lives here.
All right, we are back. And again, thank you guys so much for jumping over to pilled.net. Those of you that haven't yet, this is kind of your last call to do so. That link one more time in the description beneath the Rumble stream. I put it in the chat. I'll put it in the chat again for you guys. Or if you want, just go into your browser, type in pilled.net. If you're on desktop, you'll see all the live channels on the left side of the screen. You'll see 412 Productions. That's us. If you're on mobile and you go to pilled.net, you'll see all the live streams at the top of the screen with their little thumbnails. We are the black and gold little circular American flag symbol there. Click that. It'll bring you right on in to the live stream. If you're not going to jump over, no worries. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. We'll be back tomorrow, or I will anyway, with Frankie Val, the Quite Frankly Show, Zach Payne of Red Pill 78 for taking it back. And then on Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern time, we'll be back with another Deplorable Discussions, where in the second half, we should be welcoming in Ben and Tina Garrison of GurGraphics.com. They got lots of good new cartoons. Looking forward to having some good laughs and talking about to wrap up the week. So we got lots of good stuff here coming up on the channel. But it is time to say goodbye to our other platforms. One more chance, get over to pilled.net. Otherwise, we'll see you guys on the next one.